Hello, my name is Hakon, and welcome back, all you fabulous fighting fantasy aficionados, friends, family, for another day of frolics and fun as we go into another fantastical adventure in a fighting fantasy gamebook in Seas of Blood, the pirate book in the series. What this does in this book, well, it's certainly the most, well, as far as I know, there may be more pirate-themed books, but this is the one I know about. In this, you're not a hero, you're not somebody trying to save the world, you're not trying to kill the evil people, the wizards and the warlocks and whatnot. You are trying to become the best pirate. That means to get as much gold as possible within a certain length of time as a wager against another pirate. So very, very different. This didn't really appeal to me when I was younger. I had the book, I didn't play it, and I had the computer game on the Commodore 64. I didn't play that so much either, but that was because it was boring. Because I didn't mind a pirate-themed computer game. I did play pirates a lot. So, and I was rather good at it, actually. So, let's get started. Now, I did have a little mishap with the beginning of this video, so I've already rolled my abilities. I've got Crew Strike, which is like the crew's skill for fighting, 12. Crew Strength, which is their stamina, and also that's all their ability to navigate the ship effectively, 15. My own skill is only 9. My stamina is 22, and my luck is 9. So not great scores for my personal scores. The crew, on the other hand, much better because crew strength is 18 maximum, so 15 is rather good. And last time, most of my battles indeed were actually with a crew. I didn't have any battles just hand-to-hand individually with myself. So crew strike of 12 is quite good because that is the maximum. Okay. I also start with 20 gold, and I have a column here for log because I need to keep track of the number of days that pass, which becomes relevant sometimes to random encounters and possibly other things too that I don't know about yet, but we'll see when we get there, if I get there. So, also got my cup of tea. And also today I'm coming in black and white. I just thought I'd try something different when I realized how you could do it, because for some reason the option was blanked out, and also I thought you had to do the effects for both the video feeds at the same time. It wasn't, yeah. So I hadn't tried that after I started using the split screen thing. So I'm trying that now and seeing how that works. I think it looks rather nice, actually, and also it keeps a little bit more of the focus, I guess, on the color over here. So let's get started to play Seas of Blood. Okay, so I'm just going to move my tea a little bit aside here. Yeah, got my map, of course, from last time, and some dice. Same dice I used last time. And in this game, you actually need 3 dice, by the way. Well, you don't need 3 dice. I mean, you can roll 1 die 3 times sometimes, but it's easier with 3 dice. Okay, so let's get started with the background story, which is called The Wager. So the city of Tak at the northern end of the inland sea is the greatest den of thieves, criminals, and cutthroats the civilized world has ever seen, which means it must be pretty bad and worse than Port Blacksand. Every form of vice and illicit activity is not only permitted, but even encouraged in the city of scum. This, your hometown, is where your adventure begins. Of the numerous pirates drawn to Tak, you and Abdul the Butcher. This is a bit strange because it says it's your hometown, then it says that you are drawn to Tak, which sounds like you're not from Tak. You and Abdul the Butcher are recognized by all as being the kings in daring and greed. However, neither of you are particularly wealthy, as your love of gambling consumes all the riches that you bring back from your journeys against the enemy cities of Lagash, Marad, and Kish. And this feels a bit unfair to call your targets of raids enemy cities, but I suppose that makes them your enemies and they will try to kill you on sight because that's what you deserve as a pirate, but there you go. In this book, we're actually the evil ones. So yeah, a bit strange. Right. The infamy that the two of you have bred is also the source of a great rivalry. You each try to outdo the other in increasingly dangerous but breathtakingly successful raids. Your goal, the title of King of Pirates. R. The sacker of cities, which is never bequeathed but only earned. One evening, while dicing against each other in one of Tak's gambling pits, somebody suggests that the two of you should have a contest to determine once and for all who is the greatest pirate. The idea appeals instantly to your audacious spirits. Yes, says Abdul, let us have a race of speed and treasure. You agree upon the terms of the contest. Each will take only one ship and, sailing from Tak on an appointed day, will head for the distant isle of Nippur, which lies deep in the great southern sea. The journey must be completed within 50 days. That's another thing for the log. You have a maximum number of days as well. And at the end, whoever has the greatest amount of gold wins the bet. With shaking of hands all round and much toasting, the deal is sealed. Your journey is about to begin. Turnover. Not now turnover, but turnover, yes. Right, so let's see where we are at now. So let's see, I can move my map up a little bit. So we can see that's number one there. Okay. Right, so last time I went towards sort of a fortress place where there was quite a lot of gold, but it was not easy to take, and I managed to lose a lot of crew strength, which I never was able to regain. So I'm going to do something different this time and see if that makes a difference. So let's see. On the day appointed for the beginning of the race, you take the Banshee, that's the name of the ship, that's the name of my ship, out of the towering granite bay of Tak and into the inland sea. Abdul the Butcher's Havildar cuts quietly through the water beside you. Far to the east is the hostile but rich port of... Hostile, that's better than enemy. Yes, it's hostile. It might be very friendly, but it's hostile to you as a pirate. The hostile but rich port of Lagash. To the west is the Sidra Desert, across which the caravan routes to the cities of Kish, Kalah, and Asur run. To the south is the mountainous isle of Inraki. Will you head towards Lagash for a dangerous but daring raid against its coastal shipping, travel to the Sidra Desert to plunder the rich western caravans, or patrol the inland sea via the Isle of Inraki? So last time I went for the last option. So it's either, today I'm going to do either Lagash or Sidra. So let's do a dangerous but daring raid against the coastal shipping of Lagash, which sounds even more dangerous than what I did last time, but there you go. So roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, etc., this is for seeing how many days I actually spend doing the next. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's less than 15. Add 5 days to your log. It would have been 6 if I failed that. So 5 days, log 5 days. There's a bit line right in the middle there, which isn't ideal, but that's all right. So L5/6. That's one of my sort of shorthand for how many days it takes. Oh, and also there is 2 different paragraphs depending on how many days you took, which is interesting as well. Okay, so 181, 6 days, or 68, 5 days. Okay, so we are you sail towards Lagash on the eastern rim, keeping a keen eye out for any of the numerous merchantmen that are attracted to this city. Fortune is running against you, however. 2 triangular red sails appear on the horizon in front of the Banshee and sweep down towards you. They are Lagashian warships, decks crowded with marines, battle banners streaming in the wind. You heel the Banshee about and try to outsail the intruders. But they're not intruders. I am the intruder. I think the problem here is this book is written. You are the evil person, and the book is written sometimes as if you are the good guy. Okay, so Roll 3 dice. Okay, so that's crew strength test again. So we have so test CSTR, and it got 2 possible outcomes. 175 fail, 87 success. Okay, so let's see now. So we roll 10, which means that that's less than 15 again, and that is a success, which means most likely now I should be able to get away from the intruders. Right. So 87, yes. Okay. Cunning and skillful sailing puts one of the warships far behind. However, the other warship stays with you and eventually pulls alongside with a shower of grapples and arrows. You will have to fight. And there's also a possibility of escaping. So, but maybe I should get this one done. Okay, so we have, I'm a 12, 15. They have 10, 8. Everything seems to have sort of skill of 10, 11 and stuff in this queue. Right, so 2 dice. Now, this is just normal combat, really. Even though it's the ship, it's exactly the same as normal hand-to-hand battle, standard fighting fantasy rules. I've got a 2 skill advantage. They roll 8. I roll 6. That's a draw. 5 and 7. They are down to 6. 4 and 10, they're down to 4. 3 and 6, down to 2. 7 and 7, and I actually managed to win that quite easily. Right, so there is, so I put escape, 12, escape. Now, escaping, the way you escape in this one is, it makes a lot of sense. You have to have a successful attack round. That means you have to win a round, and then you can choose to escape, and your opponent gets an automatic hit on you. So, but you have to win a round first, which is actually quite a crucial thing. So, and we win that and go to 1, 3, 5, and I do have to excuse myself a little bit because I can feel my rumbling in my tummy is actually nature calling, I think. Sorry, too much information, I know. Okay, so instead, I'll forget I said that. Forget I said that. Okay, I'll be back after this short break. That's better, isn't it? Oh, I must remember to cover my tea. Now, this is another little tea tip for you guys. Of course, I had mentioned it before, but if you want to keep your tea warm for longer, cover it when you leave it. Although a good cup of tea, of course, does taste really nice when it's cold, you do want to keep it warm as long as possible. And also when you're brewing it, if you cover it, the brewing temperature is higher, and black tea brews best when the temperature is above 80 degrees, which means that even it actually makes a difference between 80 and 90 or 90 and 100 as well. So you want to keep it as hot as possible. So when you're brewing tea, always cover it so that the temperature stays higher during the brewing time. Yes. Right, I am back, and there's some wet spots here. Let's wipe those off so my pads don't get too wet. Right, because interestingly, this kind of pad that I'm using for my, or the squared book that I'm using for my character sheets, if you get the graph, the squares actually dissolve in water, so, which I've never seen before. That's a first for me. I mean, usually they should be, you would think they would use waterproof ink for these sorts of things, but no, it's it actually dissolves. Anyway, I'm back. That wasn't a very long break, so that's good. Let's get started again. So we did the warship and we won. And I go to 135. Let's see if we can get something useful out of having defeated it. With a warship defeated, you board and search for loot. You find no gold, but 5 excellent captives from among the Marines to sell in the slave markets. Okay, so that's another thing that seems to be slaves 5. Last time too, I got some slaves, so it seems that that's a thing that keeps happening, and it looks like it's just a number. And I'm just surprised there is actually no. There should have been a sort of a separate box for slaves, probably because of that. Anyway, I'm sure there's plenty of room in the character sheet, unlike in Crystal of Storms, where you had the most ridiculous number of items ever. That's the latest fighting fantasy gamebook for those not in the know yet. Okay, so we have options. Will you head back into the inland sea towards Enraki, or travel down the coast to the rivers of the dead? Now, of course, that means that I can either go back where I was last time, or go somewhere else, which then sounds a bit more interesting, doesn't it? So if I go to... I want to go to the coast, to the rivers of the dead. That sounds so exciting, doesn't it? 197. You sail onwards to the rivers of the dead. Roll 3 dice. Okay, so now we are doing our sailing time. Ooh. 15. Okay, so that means equal to or greater. Okay, so actually I got the longer time there. So I got 6 days instead of 5. 5, 6, L. Okay. Dropping anchor by the mouth of the largest river in the group, you disembark with most of your crew and march inland, looking for settlements or caravans to raid. After a few hours, you come to a small range of steep, stony hills, crazed with gullies, narrow valleys, and dry waterways. Will you climb over these hills or search through a few of the gullies in case they are hiding anything? Okay, so let's see. We got hills or gullies. 2, 3, 9 hills, or 2, 2, 6 gullies. I'm going to check out the gullies. The valleys are long, tortuous, and diverse. That's a strange set of adjectives for a valley. Long, tortuous, and diverse. A diverse valley, okay. You skulk around them for a few hours before stopping to rest. However, just as your crew put canteens to mouths, a ferocious shouting starts up behind the steep rises to either side, followed by the slapping and banging of hobnailed boots on stony ground. A terrific number of angry desert goblins with flared, hairy nostrils, bat-like ears, and flashing swords pour over the edges of the gully and leap into the midst of your men. A ferocious battle starts up. Yeah, okay, well, I'd have no option but to fight him, I guess, and there's no escaping, so... Oh, that's the wrong place. 147. 9, 12. Right, so I'm still at 12, 15. They have 9, 12. Let's see how this goes. Goblins roll 7, I roll 11. Goblins roll 12. I roll 6. Goblins roll 11. I roll 5. Oh dear. Oh. I need to... my dice are broken. I have to return my dice. They are defect. Okay. 11 and 7. I just need to roll them a bit extra there, I think. 9 and 10. Yeah, that's better. 8 and 5. That's a draw. 7 and 2. Oh, dearie me. 11 and 8. Well, that's a draw, but 6, 3, draw. 5, 8, yes. 11 again, and 7. 2. 6. Okay. It's not over yet though. 5. 5. 7. 4. Draw. 9. 10. Oh, MG. That was really a tough battle there. And my crew got decimated. Well, actually, I didn't get decimated because that means 1 in 10 being killed. I mean, what do you call it when 2/3 get killed? Anyway. Right. 147. I think I'm in trouble now because if my crew strength is that low. Yeah. The decimated horde. Yeah. Well. Turns tails and runs. Giving chase, you follow the surviving goblins back to their cavernous lair, where your crew start up the fight once again. During the battle through the goblins' cavern, you become separated from your men and, stumbling through the dim light, fall into a subterranean rapid. Desperate find the One Ring, perhaps. You are swept under jutting buttresses, down waterfalls, and finally into a relatively still pool, miles from where you started. Turn to 53. Well, at least I don't have to rely on my crew at the moment. And this sounds like an exciting adventure. Yes. We like a bit of adventure. Okay, so 53. There we are. You are in a large subterranean cavern lit by the phosphorescence of the rocks around. Better than torches. Better than torches. To one side, a small wooden landing juts out into the water. Swimming to this, you pull yourself from the water and follow the construction to a short corridor which leads from the cavern to a massive stone door. Beside the door is a life-sized statue of a gargoyle. Looking down the corridor at you, will you try to open the door or have a close look at the statue? Well, technically, is it a gargoyle unless it is on a roof and working as a water spout? Right, so. $69 door or 88 statue. I'm going to have a look at the statue first of all. The gargoyle is set about a foot above the ground on a small circular dais. How do you pronounce that again? D-A-I-S. Dais, isn't it? It's a dais, I think. I'll just look that up. I like getting these things right when I can. So, yeah, I think it's a dais. One of those words you hardly ever come across because, well, why would you? And you think it used to be spelled with a dais or a dais. I'm going with dais because I think that used to be the only correct way to pronounce it, and it used to be written with what do you call it again? The dots, the diaresis, just to show that the AI was not supposed to be a diphthong. It was supposed to be like so. Yeah. So it used to be. I think it used to be written DAI dots S, just to show that AI was not a diphthong. So day is okay. Right. Looking closer, you see that the dais has rollers built in under it, so the statue has been built to be moved. There are wear marks from the rollers on the left side of the statue, but none on the right. Taking a firm grip of the gargoyle's shoulders, you prepare to push. Which way will you try to move the statue? Well, the clue sounds like I should really move it to the left, so I'm going to move the statue to the left. 1, 4, left, 1, 6, 5, right. Yeah. The statue rolls easily, but squirts a vicious stream of poisonous liquid into your eyes from its flared nostrils. So maybe the wear marks was there as to give you the false impression of how to do it. Roll 3 dice, and that's a stamina test. I can't exceed my stamina with 3 dice. I may as well just leave that be. Let's see, so that's 2 options. Now when I am, as I predicted, running out of map space. Should have spaced it out much more. Anyway, always should space it out much more. So test stamina. 9. Exceed. 129. Lower. Okay, so 129. I'm sure I'll still take some damage. Surely. The poison infects your system but does not kill you. Reduces stamina to 6. OMG. So if you had failed your stamina roll, you would have died, wouldn't you? Surely. Let's have a look at that. I'm just curious now. That is a terrible trap. Yes, that's actually an insta-death if you fail your stamina roll. Wow. Okay, so stamina equals 6. That is really drastic. Okay, so now my stamina is down to 6. Wiping the blinding substance from your eyes, you see that moving the statue has caused the massive stone door to swing open. You go through the opening. Turn to 179. Okay. Okay, I think I'm just gonna... okay, put that there. Okay, 179. I'm going to really make a messy map. If I do any of these other options now, the map is going to be still more easy to read than the Scorpion Swoop map, probably. Through the door is a long, narrow hall, whose walls on either side are regularly punctuated with alcoves. The floor is strewn with a large number of grey ovoid stones, each about 2 feet in diameter. At the far end of the chamber is another massive door. Will you look in one of the alcoves, take a closer look at the stones, or leave everything alone and make your way to the other door? So 3 options. You know what? I'm going to move now all these things over here, where there is some space as yet. So we have 218 alcoves, 190 stones. Can you see this? No, this is outside of shot now. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I move my mapping over here to the corner here where there was room, and 2, 4, 8 go on. Okay, I'm going to check out this stove. I'm going to check out the stones. Kneeling down, you reach across to roll one of the stones over. Unexpectedly, your hands sink into the grey mass, causing the stone to shriek loudly and spit gobs of acid at you. One strikes you on the shoulder, deduct 2 points from your stamina. I've got 4 stamina left. The ovoid continues to shriek and spit. You draw your sword to defend yourself. And also skill of 9. I mean, seriously, these things are... Oh. Okay, so now I've got a skill of 9 and a stamina of 4. What I'm fighting has a skill of 9 and a stamina of 6. And there's no way of using luck in combat. And... stay la vie. And the ovoid rolls a 12. I rolled a 5. 7. 12. 6. 10. 6. 6. Draw. 8. 7. I die. Okay. That was an interesting corrosive end to the so 9, 6. Right, that was an interesting little jaunt, I think, today. And this game is fierce. I mean, I still haven't fought anything with a skill less than 9, and it's been 10s, 11s, 10s, mostly 10s. It's I'm not sure about the balance. Oh, hang on. I'll check if they have the message in the beginning where it says that the correct path is easy. Hang on. No, it doesn't say that. You know how in the beginning of many of the earlier fighting fantasy books, it says that the one true or the correct path through the book is easy and you can manage it even with minimum abilities. It doesn't say so here, and that would also be a big fat lie if it did, because I don't think you can. I mean, this is really difficult to do with anything less than 12 skill, it looks like, at least based on my 2 playthroughs so far. Okay, so that concludes my seas of blooding for the day, I think. Thanks for watching, and I'll certainly be looking forward to next time when I will be trying to figure out a safer path through the world. Maybe. I hope you enjoyed watching this very, very short episode today, and that you will be looking forward to the next one, which will be a few days away, probably. So, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time. So, yeah, goodbye for now.